Alright, I'm going to need to make a blooper reel on this. So this is my 16-ton press. I'm not going to go through all these parts. That's what I was trying to do, and I keep screwing up on telling you the prices of the parts. But I got about 1,300 bucks, 1,200, 1,300. It's right in there. The fittings are like $8.99 a piece, and there's, I don't know, a dozen of them probably. The hoses were range anywhere between 30 and 50 bucks depending on the length. These are all pipe. Now on hydraulics, I did learn something which I will share with you right now. There's different threads in hydraulics, and I got pipe thread for my hydraulic lines. There are compression fittings. I went ahead and got pipe threads because, for one reason, over here I did run out of the tank. I ran regular pipe, black pipe out of the hydraulic tank. That was 89 bucks. Regular black pipe attached to filter house assembly, which was 3/4 inch. So I had to buy an adapter down here. I had to adapt all this down to 3/4 to run the suction side, because it went from that 1.5 inch to down to 1 inch and 3/4, and then the filter housing was 3/4 inch. So then I had to go back to 1 inch on the hose that they had. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up redoing that. I don't know, but right now it's working. The 1 inch to 3/4 inch adapter for the hose, I found at Lowe's. It was the only place I could find it that was that size that it was, no, that's 1 inch, I'm sorry. It was, it went from 3/4 to 1 inch. So anyway, I had to buy the coupler and then reduce that down. So it was a pain in the ass. Anyway, Lowe's has them. And it runs over here to the pump. The pump was 125 bucks on eBay. The motor was on eBay. It's a North American motor made in Mississippi. It is a 5-horse motor and 3,000 RPM. So far, it seems to be a good motor. We'll see how long it lasts, but 250 bucks for a 5-horse motor is pretty good. The spooling valve was about $89 at Tractor Supply or Family Farm and Home, and I got the double action. I did take the spooling valve, or no, sorry, this is a spooling valve. I took the detent, which is right here. The last one I bought in my previous video, this was facing sideways. Somebody had turned it sideways. They had screwed with it. They must have returned it and they put it back on the shelf. This one's facing straight up and it's not leaking. I got it installed. So I had to rip all my plumbing off, take that other one back, and get this one to replace it, do a swap. It is not leaking. It did leak here a little bit when I first fired it up, but I did tighten that up. But I unscrewed this and removed the spring, which I had sitting here, which is the detent. It's called a detent. It keeps this handle, it'll lock that handle in when you push this handle in. You do not want that handle locking in. You just want to be able to hit it and let go of it. Here's the spring. So I took these out, the cap, unscrewed it, pulled it out, put it back together, and now it don't stick. So it pops right back into your neutral position. This thing's quick. I'm pretty happy with it. So right now, after what I've done, and I've got it running, it's working good. I'll show you here in a minute. Again, I think I showed a video last time when I was running it. But I'm going to take this solid tubing, this 3/16 or quarter, I forget what it is, wall, and probably weld something like this up here for a guide for the ram. And I'll put a plate. Mind me, this is just going to kind of freestand here just for demonstration. So there's going to be a plate welded to the top of this, or bolted right here, and then it'll be a guide that bolts down here, so it'll slide up and down, so it'll keep this piston perfectly, or cylinder perfectly straight, and it'll slide up and down. Then I got to make another gusset like I did with my plasma cutter up here, and weld another gusset together. And for my fitting, and then I got to figure that tooling out. I haven't got that far yet. You do your tooling the way you want to. You could have two of these on both sides and run a guide that slides on both sides. I'm going to do the one side. It frees me up to put longer pieces in here and drop them down in between the tooling. So that's what I'm going to do. So I want to fire this thing up, and I want to show you what control I have over this thing. It's pretty nice. So if I go slow, or fast, it's right down here. Oh yeah, working good. I'm happy. There it is. No leaks. Pretty happy with it. I'm going to turn the motor off. So yeah, I've got right now $1,300 in it. These are running $7,000. I looked up a couple different brands, and they're $7,000 for a 16-ton press. So if you're handy, I'd recommend doing it. You learn about hydraulics, because I didn't know shit, honestly, about hydraulics. Pardon my pun, my language there. But yeah, I didn't know anything about hydraulics, really, because, I mean, I've operated hydraulics, never had to work on them. The main thing is either do your pipe fittings or your pressure fittings. I went with the pipe fittings, and I'm not having any problems. And so yeah, I welded the plate on here when I cut the legs off. Welded 1/4-inch plate on here, and then there'll be more tooling sitting on top of here, so it'll be even more solid. I'll have this welded up with the plate, a guide. I'll put gussets up here in the corners. I don't need to. The one thing I don't like about this Harbor Freight frame is it's powder coated, so here's where I was going to mount the spooling valve, and I changed my mind, so that's why this is scratched up, as I had cleaned it up to weld and ended up moving it down here so I could attach a foot pedal right here going down to the floor, because up there I had it sideways. So I moved it down here so I could connect a rod here and be able to put a foot pedal on the floor. So yeah, I'm going to put the gussets in here, gussets right here in the corners, maybe put a piece up here. I probably won't have to, because I'll have the one solid tubing welded top and bottom, have it braced up. I really don't think I'll need to do anything else. So yeah, that's my 16-ton, my Ryobi press here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and a little lengthy, but I wanted to make sure I tried to cover everything. Oh, the one thing I do need to probably cover with you is I did have to make a bracket for the pump. The pump comes just by itself, so you need to build a bracket to hold it against the motor. And I had to shim underneath it when I welded a 90 on there. I was going to forge it, since I do forge, and bend it at a 90, but I thought, this is kind of critical, so I did cut it with a cutoff wheel, got the proper measurements, ran a bead, welded it together, and it works good. So the connector, I forget what the heck this connector is. It's spider gear right here. So they're on, they have Allen keys that hold them in, a keyway here. There's a keyway on here. So the shaft on this pump was 1/2 inch, I think, I do believe, and 3/4 on the motor. So you have to buy, they got a chart there at Tractor Supply or Family Farm and Home that tell you what you need for the spider gear, what 3 combinations you need for 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1/2 to 1/2, or 1/2 to 1 inch. There's a different spider gear that fits in there that works. So that wasn't no big deal. So yeah, I did a template out of a piece of light plywood, traced it out. I laid the pump on it, traced it out around here, marked my holes, drilled it, see if it would fit, and then I laid it out with that template. I laid it out on the steel and drilled my holes and did my cuts. And then when I got it together, I did notice I had to lift it a little bit, so I just put a metal shim underneath of it. So bolted that down to the table and bolted the motor down, drilled through the table, and got a heavy duty table here, and I'm good to go. So if you build one, let me know. I'm curious if you end up doing the same thing I did. I'd like to know. That'd be kind of cool to know that I helped somebody out. You know, $1,200-1,300 is a pretty good price on a $7,000 press. So I'm happy, and I hope this video helps you out, because I ran YouTube all over the place finding a video that would be something similar to what I wanted, and I figured it out. It took me a little bit of time, but I figured it out. And that's what you will have involved more than money, is probably your time. Like me, I don't have time. I work full-time and do bladesmithing on the side, so I had to put bladesmithing on the side in order to build this. So if you're willing to set your orders aside to build your press, then do it. But anyway, I'm excited. I just got to do the tooling, and I'll do another updated video after I get it, the tooling and the guide made, and I'll let you all know how that turns out. And thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and share, please.